Because Mimzy is a fantasy, and it's a science fiction fantasy, all the sounds had to be rooted in the real world and rooted in, the rules of our scientific understanding of reality. My name is Dane Davis, and I was the sound designer and the supervising sound editor on The Last Mimzy. Like most films, that we do, there are many, many, many layers of sound. One thing that may not be apparent to the audience in watching Mimzy is that the sound of Mimzy communicating with Emma telepathically is derived from Emma's voice itself. I basically took all the dialogue she has in the movie and took out all the spaces and all the consonants and made kind of a long, continuous vowel out of her sound.
It's like she's talking to me.
For Noah, I asked to just have Noah sing some triads on the set, which is basically like la 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 la. And I just took those basic triads from Noah and created the mandala sound. The penumbra, probably if you added up all of the tracks that I was building, it's at least 600. I mean, it's probably 1,500 or something like that, tracks of this one sound. That's just one of the sub-layers. Each one of these little pieces is 8 layers of this sound. The giant penumbra sound that I just played is made up from hundreds and hundreds of layers of a sound that I made from the piece of spinning glass. From sort of a creative aesthetic point of view for me, it has to feel like magic, but it has to make sense like technology. But I'm very proud of it and very excited by the Mimzy sound in the end.
The sound is a connection of many things together, is much more important than we imagine.
There are many ways in which we can affect the world around us. We can speak and try to communicate information that affects who's ever hearing it.
We got 2 special kids with great minds, imaginations.
No, you're not getting it.
The sound causes the air molecules to vibrate, and that gets transmitted all the way to my ear, and that causes my eardrum to vibrate. And the inside are little tiny hairs inside the ear. Those vibrate as a result of the eardrum vibrating. And finally, the nerves that are in those hairs transmit a signal to the brain, and it says, I'm hearing sounds.
First, I discovered that spiders are sensitive to sound waves and seem to move when they hear various frequencies. Their circular webs started changing into something more elongated. I call it structured bridge. Are there any questions?
Now, can we volitionally affect, say, the motion of a spider by directing sound waves to it? In principle, can we affect the environment by virtue of sending out waves, either sound waves or electromagnetic waves? Yes, we do it all the time.
Spiders are affected by vibrations because they use the vibrations of their spider web to know the fact that they've caught something. Also, spiders have little hairs on their legs through which they can hear sound, and they can locate directions of sounds.
We have recently looked at a chrysalis. It's the, before the butterfly comes out. And we have discovered these marvelous sounds that makes on a very small and normally inaudible level.
Sound is a very particular kind of phenomenon. It's a vibrational phenomenon that can be transmitted through a substance. So the universe, since it's filled with material, can support those kinds of vibrational motions. We can hear what we can hear in the world around us, but if you were to put me out in space, for instance, there wouldn't be anything for me to listen to in the emptiness of outer space.
The problem is that there's no air molecules between us and the sun or between us and Jupiter. So the sounds like that, the vibrating of the air molecules, can't go across the emptiness of space. Now, when some of these charged particles, for example, on the sun and Jupiter are vibrating, then they can emit radio waves. And you can catch those radio waves, and the radio will convert it into the sound that our ears can hear.
Some interesting programs have been written which have scaled up some of the vibrations in the universe so that you could hear what they would sound like if the ear were able to sense them.
It's just amazing to listen to sometimes, realizing that that sound's coming from 500 million miles away. The reason why we study the universe as a whole is because we want to understand the universe. And once we understand what's going on there, then we have the possibility of knowing how it affects us, how we are affecting it.
Oh my gosh.
And then also to know how to live in this universe that we live with every day.
Are we the only people in the universe? I don't think we are.
I think you're probably right.